Hello TCR friends, this month for our market update, I am joined by Gabe with Pillar to Post Home Inspections. How are you, Gabe?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, thank you for being with us today.
My pleasure.
Can you tell us a little bit about your company and your presence here in the Wake County and surrounding areas?
Absolutely. So I'm with Pillar to Post Home Inspectors, the Benora team, and we've been in business for probably about 8 years now. And we do home inspections all around the triangle for either pre-listing inspections, purchase inspections, or pre-drywall inspections for all our clients.
Absolutely. We're standing today in a new construction, and part of my, for today, what I want to do is talk a lot about home inspections for sellers, home inspections for buyers, the whole fear factor that comes with, oh my gosh, the home inspection. Like, not everyone likes you, right?
Yeah.
Not everybody does. So the first thing I want to talk about is when you mentioned pre-listings. Some sellers like to kind of get ahead of the game and do pre-inspections. Can you tell me about what you see and how that helps and things that they can do to avoid a very long list for a buyer?
Absolutely, yeah. Pre-listing inspections are a big deal, and I think it's important because it gives the seller a little bit more control of what they're able to do, how they can get things fixed before listing the house. And I think getting the house ready for us inspectors really plays a big factor. We need to be able to get into the attic, we need to be able to get in the crawl space, open up electrical panels. So kind of having the house ready for us is a big deal and makes things easier for us.
Absolutely. The pre-listing also, I know from our experience in our firm, any seller that does a pre-listing makes the buyer's inspection shorter. There's some things that just come up on the inspection report that could be avoided by a seller, such as, we've seen many a times lights that are not functioning when it's really truly just the bulb.
Yeah.
Do you have any other examples that you see that a seller could assist with or could take care of in advance?
Yeah, like you said, I think light bulbs are a big thing. Obviously, you want to make sure all your appliances are working. Even behind us, we have a fireplace that's running. Just make sure that gas is on, so that way we can test that. Making sure that everything's connected for the oven, that we can test that, and the dishwasher as well.
Right.
So I think all those kind of play in a factor. Having the garage door opener plugged in. You'd be surprised, a lot of people don't plug that in, so we want to make sure that that's testing. So all those really help expedite the process.
Absolutely. And I know you mentioned earlier being accessible to areas. Sometimes we as agents receive reports and Gabe will have to say it's inaccessible. Like if we tell sellers it's okay to use the garage to pack things away to make the house look bigger, but also you got to leave the edges so that you can be able to see and get to that panel box that's out there or the hot water heater.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, just kind of make everything that we can get to it. There are times when I know people are moving and they've got all their boxes stacked in the house. Just give us a path that we can get to the main appliances, that we can see the walls. Especially if we're going to be doing a termite inspection. I know our termite guys want to be able to see the outside walls as well. So giving us that path.
So Gabe, since we talked about the sellers and what they can do to make the inspection report less or not as alarming, let's talk about buyers.
Yeah.
So when we work with buyers in our firm, we always recommend that they start with the home inspection with you as a guide. And we do termites and radon, and I'm going to let you elaborate later on radon, because a lot of people don't even realize what radon and how important that is. But from the home inspection, it is a guide for us that tells us, from what we receive from the home inspector, if we need an additional electrician to come in, if we need a plumber, if we need a structural engineer, any of those things. And we also do tell them how you do inspections. Even we're standing in a new house today, even they need them. So
yeah, absolutely. So I think every house, every purchase does need a home inspection because sometimes people forget things. I mean, we've done plenty of home inspections on new construction where they forgot some pretty important things. And so it's our job to come in and just inform the client of what's going on with the house. We're not here to freak anybody out. It's good just to know what's going on with the house, know that everything can get fixed. And we kind of walk them through the process of what they should look for, what to ask the seller to fix, and kind of prioritize and make their honeydew list as they move into the house.
Absolutely. You know, for anyone, if it's a new construction or if it's a resale, our goal, especially work with our buyers, is to make sure that they don't have a long laundry list or feel like that honey-do list is extremely long when they come in the door. When we go back to talking about when a buyer does receive a report, sometimes the language, these guys are really good. They're not attorneys, but their language can be a little scary and overwhelming. And as agents, please don't read into it. I want buyers to have confidence that their agent can take care of that and maneuver it. Because when you see structural engineer, because there's a truss that has a split in it or something like that, we kind of go, oh my gosh, the house is going to fall down. It's not. And we just have to maneuver through those that path and finding the right thing. In the North Carolina offer to purchase, the seller doesn't have to do anything. So a home inspection for a buyer is to truly give them, understand what it would take to get the house into near perfect condition as they could. Yeah. Do you have anything to add for buyers when it comes to resales or things that you've seen, that seem alarming that truly aren't?
Yeah, well, I think you're 100% right, and some of the language that we do use can be very scary. So I think it's important to not only read the inspection report, but to speak with the inspector about it. And we always try to talk with our clients about their inspection report, whether it's at the time of the inspection or FaceTime or a phone call after the inspection, just to walk them through some of the language that we're using. Because like you said, some of the stuff that we have for a structural engineer tends to be somewhat a simple fix, but it has to go through an engineer to confirm what the fix is. Sometimes when we're talking about some electrical or some piping, the language can be alarming, but I think if we talk through it, we can get a good game plan as far as what the next steps would be to rectify everything.
So as we talk with buyers, and we know they do the home inspection, and they do the termites, they do radon.
Yes.
And you have other things that you offer as well. Can you elaborate to a buyer? Today we're standing in a home that has a septic tank. Mm-hmm. So those are inspected as well. So can you just tell our friends some of the things that they can add to an inspection?
Absolutely. So like you said, we do termite inspections. We do offer radon inspections. And in a house like this where we have septic, we do offer septic inspections as well. We can come in and inspect the tank. And then it wouldn't be on this house, but on older houses, if we need to pump the tank, we can do that as well. We also offer water quality tests for people that want to know the quality of water, and if there's any metals or bacteria inside the water. We do mold tests as far as airborne fungal spores that are around, even direct samples if we see something suspicious. And the last thing that we just started offering right now is sewer scoping. So we're actually going to check the sewer line going from the house to either the street or to the septic tank to make sure that there's no damages in that pipe. We run a video camera down through there, and we include that in our report to all the clients.
Absolutely. That's why Gabe is one of my favorites, because he is a true everything in one place, and he's got people that can do all these inspections based on whatever the home is. If it's new construction, if it's a resale with a well or with a septic tank, you've got them covered for sure. We made our way to the kitchen, and as I'm moving around this house, I'm thinking about things, and I think about drippy sinks that we always see that are an easy fix for sellers and even for buyers if they show up in the report. But I want to go back and talk about the radon. Here, even in North Carolina, in our area, a lot of people, I've been doing this for 24 years, radon was not a thing. It's always been a thing, but it wasn't a thing that we tested for until probably the last decade. So can you tell us about that and what it is? Because a lot of people don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. So radon is a gas. You can't smell it, you can't see it, but it can be harmful for you. And radon comes from granite rocks that are underground. And it's really tough to pinpoint exactly where it's going to be. I've done a home inspection with radon on one house and it didn't have radon, and 2 houses down it did have radon. So it can fluctuate with areas, and it can be harmful. So what we do is we set a monitor in the house and we let it sit there for 48 hours, and that will give us the results of how much radon is in the house for those 48 hours. And as long as we're below the limit, we're good to go. If, God forbid, we are above the limit, there are ways around it. We can get a mitigation system installed, and we can lower the radon levels in the house.
So the EPA level, my understanding, is a 4.0.
Yep.
So if you see one that is above that, there are ways to stop it. It is not always hugely expensive, but it certainly has lasting benefits for it. And it's just the fan, right, that pulls out from the crawl space?
It's essentially a bypass fan that'll pull the radon gases from underneath the house and blow it above the house. So it just bypasses the house.
Absolutely. So that's a easy way to resolve that problem. As we close today, do you, I'm trying to make sure that we thought of all the things. There's a lot of things, and you know, I say that the fear factor of home inspections, these guys are not coming into the house to scare either a buyer nor a seller. I think a seller has a lot of ways that they can prepare to make that report go from, you know, shrink it down in size, for sure. So that's a huge take for sellers that are looking to put their home on the market for the upcoming year or anytime this summer. Is just check those boxes, make sure that the lights are working, make sure the filters are clean, that there's no drippy sinks, you know, the things that we can see in a home that you see every single day. I want to thank you though, Gabe, for your expertise. Gabe and I have been working together for many, many years. He is one that encompasses all of the things that you'll need when it comes to inspecting your home. So thank you for your time.
No problem, thank you.
Do you have any closing remarks?
I'm good, but thank you. I just always recommend getting a home inspection and talking it through with your home inspector.
Thank you.
Thank you.